Welcome to our exploration into the heart of nature, exploring some of the ideas around Ziraat and this beautiful activity and ray that Inayat Khan brought to us towards the end of his life. So we'll begin with the invocation of Piro Murshid Inayat Khan. And I think probably most of you know it, but just in case, we'll put it in the chat window. Towards the One, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the spirit of guidance. Amen. So, I like to give just a short description, idea of what this ray is all about. I know a few of you have been here already or have been doing Ziraat for years, and for some of you this is brand new. So just a brief description of what this ray is all about. So it's really about our connection with nature and how we can learn from nature and actually bring that into our spiritual lives. And the first Sufi thought, or one of the Sufi thoughts of Inayat Khan, is there is one holy book, the sacred manuscript of nature, the only scripture that can enlighten the reader. So, this obviously the lessons from nature and how we can bring that into our hearts is a very important part of this path, of this Sufi path. By honoring the sacredness of life and the nature and attuning to its teachings, her teachings, it helps us to become more productive in healing ourselves, healing humanity, the planet. The word Ziraat has Middle Eastern roots pointing to agriculture or seeds. And it uses the symbolism of plowing and sowing and reaping. And these are all symbolizing ways we can cultivate our hearts as well. So, and really, I feel like this class is really just a touch point of inspiration, I hope, for you to really get out and explore and experience nature yourselves, because that's truly the most real way you can experience Ziraat is just to be outside and exploring nature yourselves. As I was walking around my sanctuary this morning, the natural area by my house, I'm there almost every morning. And I was just so in awe again of the beauty and just noticing what's happening in nature right now, with the buds getting a little bigger and the river growing just a little bit, and just all the different things. So it's just really important, I feel like, to have a place where you can go on a regular basis, whether it's daily or maybe once a week or however much you can, to the same space in nature where you can experience the changes throughout the year and the cycles and seasons. Really can bring some great knowledge and insight to our lives. And so I think we'll start next with, well, first I want to show you the altar, which I kind of have to give you this view of it to really see it, but we have soil in a little heart-shaped bowl that my friend Jude made. And there are some seeds in there because we're very much focusing on seeds in this particular class. So we had to have the soil and the seeds representing earth. And then we have the feathers representing air. Of course, we've got a candle back there representing fire. There's a vessel of water here that's from the river by my house, representing water. And then the incense representing ether. And today we also have some beautiful spring flowers as well. So I hope you can see those and enjoy those as well as we attune to the elements. So we're going to attune to the elements with what is part of the Ziraat papers, or the Ziraat Lodge ceremony. Lodge meaning a sacred space where we come into a place of honoring the divine. So I'm going to do the movements for them as well. I'm going to put this in the chat window so you can see what we're doing and saying. You can say it along with me. I'll guide you through a hope that worked. Yeah, looks like you've got it. So this is just one way of attuning to the elements. This is one of the core practices that Inayat Khan gave us, not just within Ziraat, but just for all Murids and spiritual seekers. It's very important noticing the elements, feeling the elements within our bodies, how they really make up who we are, and it makes up all of the world around us. They are living beings that we can attune to. So we begin with earth, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Oh, all productive earth, we humbly offer our love and respect to you. And just noticing the breath spreading out flat. Maybe noticing the color yellow. Feeling the strength and stability of the earth beneath us. The bones that give us our strength and structure, made of the earth. And attuning to the element of water. Oh, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. Oh, all purifying water, we willingly offer our love and respect to you. And with this, we can notice the breath, the movement being a downward motion of the waters, the rains, and maybe noticing the sense of a well of water within your heart springing up and then showering down. Maybe visualizing the color green for water. And then moving to the element of fire. Breathing in through the mouth, breathing out through the nose. Oh, all-consuming fire, we wholeheartedly offer our love and respect to you. And noticing that upward motion of fire, the sun rising, the heat moving up through our bodies. of air. O all-pervading air, we gladly offer our love and respect to you. Breathing in through the mouth and breathing out through the mouth. And maybe noticing the zigzag movement of air, seeing the leaves moving in the wind, seeing the color blue, the blue of the sky, the birds flying in the air. And then the breath of ether. O ether, essence of all, we passively offer our love and respect to you. Just a gentle, still, refined breath through the nose or nose and mouth. There's no particular color, or maybe it's all the colors. Knowing this is the source of all elements, the source of the breath that gives us life. So I wanted to read a passage from one of Inayat Khan's volumes before we get into the theme for today. I feel like this is another important aspect to share with you about the importance of nature in our spiritual lives. So this is from volume 11, Philosophy, Psychology, and Mysticism. And it's part 3 on mysticism, and it's from chapter 7 on nature. Anyone who has some knowledge, you know what? Okay, I'm going to read this, but I also want to do a song for the elements. But I think it'll flow nicely after we read this. So, anyone who has some knowledge of mysticism and of the lives of the mystics knows that what always attracts the mystic most is nature. Nature is his bread and wine. Nature is his soul's nourishment. Nature inspires him, uplifts him, and gives him the solitude for which his soul continually longs. Every soul born with a mystical tendency is constantly drawn towards nature. In nature, that soul finds its life's demand. As it is said in the Vedan, art is dear to my heart, but nature is near to my soul. To a mystic, the word nature has a wider meaning. According to the mystical point of view, nature has 4 different aspects. The first one is the forest, the desert, hills and dales, mountains and rivers, sunrise and sunset, the moonlit night, and the shining stars are one aspect of nature. Before a mystic, they stand like letters, characters, figures made by the Creator to read if one is able to read them. The Surah of the Quran, which contains the first revelation of the Prophet, includes the verse, "Read in the name of your Lord, who taught with the pen." The mystic, therefore, recognizes this manifestation of nature as a written book. He tries to read these characters and enjoys what they reveal to him. To the mystic, it is not only the waxing and the waning of the moon, it has some other significance for him. It is not only the rising and the setting of the sun, it tells her something else. It is not only the positions of the stars, but their action and their influence relate something to the heart of the mystic. The mountains standing so silently, the patient trees of long tradition, the barren desert, the thick forest, not only have a calming effect upon the mystic, but they express something to him. The fluttering of the leaves comes to her ears as a whisper. The murmur of the wind falls on her ears as music, and the sound of little streams of water running in the forest, making their way through the rocks and pebbles, is a symphony to the ears of the mystic. No music can be greater and higher and better than this. The crashing of the thunder, the soughing of the wind, the blowing of the morning breeze, all these convey to a mystic a certain meaning which is hidden behind them. And for a mystic, they make a picture of life, not a dead picture, but a living picture, which at every moment continually reveals a new secret, a new mystery to her heart. So I imagine this might be your experience for many of you, and I again encourage you to find the deeper wisdom within nature as we enjoy the forests and the trees and the rivers and mountains. All right, I think it's time to sing. So this is also a beautiful way of attuning, I feel like, to nature, and luckily there's lots of beautiful element songs out there and dances, and that we can just bring that into our body. As we were doing a little bit with the prayer, there's some similar movements you can do with this song. So this is a Zoroastrian song, or it comes from the Zoroastrian tradition, and I'll put it in the chat window for you. So we'll be saying the words Armaiti, Anahita, Atar, Vayu. So these are the four elements that are the divine elements within this tradition. So Armaiti is the earth. So again, we'll do that, putting our hands towards the earth, Armaiti. Anahita is the waters, the rivers. So Anahita, we can do this sort of movement of the rainfall or the mist. Atar is fire. It's kind of doing that movement of atar, of the fire. And Vayu is the wind, which we can just do that zigzag, windy movement, however you wish to do that. And then Ahura Mazda, that's the name of God or the divine, and we can think of this as the element of ether. Ahura Mazda, the source of all, the creator. So let me get a drink of water. Armaiti Anahita Atar Vayu. Armaiti Anahita Atar Vayu. Ahura Mazda, Ahura Mazda, Ahura Mazda, Ahura Mazda. Armaiti Anahita Atar Vayu. Armaiti Anahita Atar Ahura Mazda, our mighty Anahita Atarvayu, our mighty Anahita Atarvayu, Ahura Mazda, Ahura Mazda, Ahura Mazda, Ahura Mazda, our mighty Anahita Atarvayu, our mighty Anahita Atarvayu, Ahura Mazda, Ahura Mazda, Ahura Mazda, Ahura Mazda, our mighty Anahita Atarvayu, our mighty Anahita Atarvayu, Ahura Mazda, Ahura Mazda, Ahura Mazda, Ahura Mazda. One more time. Our mighty Anahita Atarvayu, our mighty Anahita Atarvayu, Ahura Mazda, Ahura Mazda, Ahura Mazda, Ahura Mazda. Thank you, friends. So, the theme for this month. I think for me, seeds seem to be a prevalent theme. Last Saturday, I went and sorted seeds for a seed swap for the community. And hopefully right after this class, I'm going to go over back to the library, the public library, where we're doing a seed swap. And they're giving away seeds and potting soil and pots to help with the community and really growing their own food. So this is just one of the more practical ways Ziraat can be practiced and really caring for the earth. And as we grow our own food and move away from the industrial agriculture, we can help with caring for the climate and doing our part. So, of course, at this time of year, we're approaching equinox and that balance between light and dark. We know that the light is growing, and eventually the days will be longer than the nights, but we're still on that precipice, or as our friend Aliella called it, we're on the border between spring and winter, which I like that phrasing. Because especially around here in Colorado, we're having an exceptionally warmish winter, end of winter, beginning of spring. So it's easy to think that, wow, I can go out there and start putting my seeds in the ground, and The leaves are looking like they are so ready, or the buds are looking like they're so ready to unfurl and show us their beautiful leaves. But we also know that winter's not over. The snowstorms are still coming. The darkness is still there. Darkness that can be a time for waiting, patience, the quiet, the stillness. So we're definitely moving between those energies, which can be somewhat tumultuous, but also just to be aware of that within our own hearts and minds of what we're wanting to bring forth into the world, the seeds that we're planting in our hearts, as well as the literal seeds that we might be starting indoors. So it's just a good time to be aware of what is it that we're wanting to plant. We're still maybe in that planning phase of what seeds are we wanting to put into the earth? What seeds? What are you wanting to birth? What's feeling pregnant for you that you're ready to bring out into the world? What are you holding in your heart? So I wanted to read another thing from Anayat Khan, and this is from the Ziraat papers. Again, it's lesson 2, cultivating the mind. So similar to last month, we were talking about preparing the soil, and so much of the writings from the Ziraat papers are about preparing the soil, preparing the heart, the cultivation. So before we can actually plant the seed, we need to prepare the mind and the heart and the ground. So here's from some words from Anayat Khan. The human mind contains various possessions collected and accumulated throughout life, some lying on the surface of the mind and others buried in it, desirable and undesirable. All sorts of impressions, right and wrong, thoughts, conceptions of good and bad, memories of sins and virtues, merits and defects, all lie there, buried. Some take root in the soil of the human heart. Others are hindered by not having scope for seeding. In this way, the human mind becomes a wild forest, where flowers and weeds both grow, a soil whose purpose is to become fertile, wherein the substance for life may be produced. The uncultivated mind is a barren desert, where the soul is starved for the food it hungers after. Every effort that man makes to turn this desert into fertile soil is action done in the right direction. On one side, by the Jamal attitude, that is by thinking and reading about the value and purpose of one's mind, one cultivates the ground within oneself. By the Jalal attitude, that is, by the power of the mind, one is able to accomplish one's work. One's own self is the plow, understanding, and power are the two wheels of the plow. With this plow, one works on the soil of the mind and takes away frost, all roots of flowers and thistles both, thus making the ground free from every kind of root and stone, making it softer and smoother, almost ready to sow the seed. So, in case you were not aware of these phrases, Jamal is the more receptive, quiet side of energy, and the Jalal is the actual action and power. So he kind of compares the wheels of the plow as the big one is the Jalal wheel, the one that's out there doing the work, and then the Jamal is the power, or the quietness of the mind that can bring about what we actually desire to bring into the world. So here's some further reading on the seeds from Anayat Khan. This is from volume 8, called Sufi Teachings, Man, the Seed of God. In the heart of the flower, there is something which tells the history of the whole plant. One might say that it is for the sake of the flower that the plant was created, but in point of fact, it is the seed in the heart of the flower which continues the species of that plant. So I'm going to say that again. One might say it is for the sake of the flower that the plant was created, but in point of fact, it is the seed in the heart of the flower which continues the species of that plant. That seed is the secret of the plant, and it is the source and goal. It is that seed which was the beginning, and it is from out of that seed that the root came, then the seedling emerged, and so it became a plant. After the seed disappeared, but after that the seed disappeared. And after that, coming of the leaves and the branches and the flowers, it appeared again. It appeared again not as one seed, but as many seeds, in multiplicity, and yet it was the same. And towards what goal, for what result did this happen? In order that the seed should come again as a result of the whole plant. And this reading is from volume 14 from the Smiling Forehead. The rose has in its heart its seeds, and so the developed souls have in their heart that seed of development which produces many roses. The rose comes and fades away, but the essence that is taken from the rose lives and keeps the fragrance that it had in its full bloom. So I'm going to lead us in a practice of some beautiful names of God, Ya Khabir and Ya Sabur. I think the Khabir is traditionally translated as the knower or the aware. And Sadi, Neil Douglas Klotz, calls it the seed of potential. So Khabir is that kha sound is kind of drawing us inward. The ba is that beginningness, that seed that's just starting to sprout and push against the shell. And the ear is coming into full awareness. So Khabir is really looking at that wisdom that's within the seed and that knows how to become this full plant and will eventually nourish us and again hopefully produce more seeds to continue on with this wisdom and awareness that continues within our hearts and our souls. So really listening to that wisdom within, what wants to be born, what seeds are you holding in your heart? And Ya Sabur is divine patience. I think it's, I keep telling the trees as I've been walking around, hold on, don't sprout yet, because I'm worried that the snowstorm's going to come. And so it's the same with that seed that's in my heart. And maybe there's something that's just ready and it's coming and it's popped out of the soil for you, and that's certainly part of this season as well. We see crocuses and daffodils sprouting already, and those beautiful flowers that look so gentle and tender are able to survive the snows that may still be coming. So I think whatever side of that energy you're on is beautiful and perfect. Just becoming aware of that. So just going to lead us through some recitations of Ya Khabir and Ya Sabur, listening to what is that seed of potential awareness that's in your heart, and Ya Sabur, being aware of what needs to wait just a little while longer, being patient for it to sprout in its right time. Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur, Ya Khabir, Ya Sabur. And just having a few moments of silence to consider, look at that inner wisdom, the seed of potential within, what's ready to be planted there. So there's another aspect to this seeds and planting that I've been noticing over the last few weeks, and just being reminded of the names and some other beautiful names of God, Rahman and Irahim. Rahman and Rahim are mercy and compassion, or really the love, the womb of love. Raham in Arabic means womb. And how do we grow these seeds or grow the new life? It's really within that womb of love. So we're going to focus on those two names. And also Ishq. Ishq is that longing, that desire, the deepest longing of love. And I often feel like the creation really is here because of that longing, that love. We are here because God wanted you to be in existence, to know, so love could know itself. God could know herself. And so that's what really ultimately brings about this creation, that's what makes the seed come out of its shell and bring new life. It makes the buds of the trees unfurl into their beautiful leaves, and the flowers to bloom and bring their fruit. It's all from love. So ishq, and then ishq Allah, mabud Allah is the phrase that some of us might be familiar with. Us. So that Allah, mabud Allah is the lover and the beloved. So ishq is the love, mabud Allah is the lover and the beloved. And then we'll also be visiting the word Bismillah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Bismillah is the beginning of every breath, of every thought, of every new seed being born. It's beginning in the name and the vibration of the divine, being held in that womb of love. So we're gonna do another song, and I'll put the words in the chat window for you. And this is a beautiful new melody from Forrest Farhad Pierce that holds it within its essence all of these ideas that I was just speaking to. So I'll be singing Bismillah, Rahman, Rahim, Allah, and Ishq Allah, Mabud Allah. So there's 3 lines basically that you see in there, and they can overlap, but I'll sing through each line twice, and then I'll circle back around. And we're blessed to have Sarah here with me, who will be accompanying with guitar and adding in her voice in the rounds. So. Might have to start me with a note. Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Allah. Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Allah. Ishq Allah, mabud Allah, Ishq Allah, mabud Allah, Allah. Ishq Allah, mabud Allah, Ishq Allah, mabud Allah, Allah. Ishq Allah, mabud Allah, Allah. Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. İşkala maburala, işkala maburala, Allah. İşkala maburala, işkala maburala, Allah. Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. İşkala maburala, işkala maburala, İşkala maburala, işkala maburala, İşkala maburala, İşkala maburala, Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. İşkala maburala, işkala maburala, Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. İşkala maburala, işkala Hope you can feel that sense of love, holding that seed in your heart, letting it form, letting it birth into this world. We have just about 5 more minutes. So I think rather than having discussion this time, we're just going to close for the next couple of minutes. I always want to do at least one nature meditation by Inayat Khan in each of these classes, and this one is for all that gives seed and fruit. And I'll put this in the chat window so you can see it and just bring those words onto the breath. Oh. Why is it not waking my... There it is. Okay. So we'll be breathing in, thou art the life, and breathing out, and thou art life's sustenance. So turning our attention to the seed within our hearts. Seeds, we're seed. Saying this prayer, bringing this on the breath, remembering this as we move into this season of planting the seeds and watching them sprout and grow. So breathing in, thou art the life, and breathing out, and thou art life's sustenance. Breathing in, thou art the life, and breathing out, and thou art life's sustenance. Breathing in, thou art the life. Breathing out, and thou art life's sustenance. Just a few more breaths. Breathing in, thou art the life. Breathing out, and thou art life's sustenance. So we'll close with our salutations to the elements again, and are in the chat window for you again. Oh, all productive earth, we humbly offer our love and respect to you. Oh, all purifying water, we willingly offer our love and respect to you. Oh, all consuming fire, we wholeheartedly offer our love and respect to you. Oh, all pervading air, we gladly offer our love and respect to you. O ether, essence of all, we passively offer our love and respect to you. And we'll say a closing prayer that I'll put in the chat window for you. This is the prayer Munira from the prayers of the Temple of the Divine Feminine, written by Sarah. I feel like this is a nice attunement to the earth and the Mama Earth as we close. So, great birther, sustainer, holy wisdom, essence of love, harmony, and beauty, mother, sister, daughter, beloved one, bless us, inspire us, and renew us. Shine your light within us, protect us, and delight our spirits. Most precious friend, the living truth of our beings, work through our hands, sing through our voices, serve humanity through our lives. Awaken our wisdom and help us to embrace you in each moment on your sacred earth. Teach us to love one another as you love us, Divine Mother. May we honor you through our actions, and may we live in the harmony of your heart. Amen. Thank you.